Thursday, that means it's time for another edition of Ask Ellen. So Matt sent us a message asking for more information on the Great Lakes storm of 1913. You love this one, Ellen.
I do, because this one's super interesting. It's called the White Hurricane. And if we have a storm that's somewhat similar, it's actually Superstorm Sandy. Look at how wide and how powerful Superstorm Sandy was. Well, imagine that, but imagine that same storm back in 1913, where we didn't have a portion of what we have in terms of weather observational networks now. So they had no radar information, no satellite imagery, no upper air observations, and no observations over water. This is also a time frame where the Great Lakes were used heavily by ships, right? So you've got all of these sailors loading up these vessels on Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Superior, heading out, and they had no weather data. So this storm of 1913 hit November 7th through 11th. They did have about 12 to 24 hours of advance notice that it might get a little rocky out on the water, but alerts were communicated by telegraph and just a few gale warnings were placed on area beaches. That's the only alert that sailors had to tell them that a big storm was coming up over Lake Michigan and about to strengthen over Lake Huron. Huron was the one that was affected the most. We had winds gusting to 90 miles per hour, waves of 36 feet, and those conditions lasted for at least 6 hours, which means we lost more than 250 ships, most of them in Lake Huron, and we had 250 people die at that time. So just a mind-blowing storm, and it really goes to show how important weather observation data and forecasting is.
Yeah, absolutely, and how much you have today.
Oh my gosh,
tools,
huge in comparison.
All right, thanks. And if you have a question that you'd like to ask Ellen, you can send it to the 7 at woodtv.com.